Hello, friends. Good evening. Welcome to Speed Gaming the Second, where we are ready for some Zelda 1 Randomizer. I'm Trenton, joined tonight by August. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Looking forward to this race. Spoiler log race. There we go. So it's not going to be too long, hopefully, and we're going to see just how these guys think about the information that they have. So all the puzzle pieces are, put together, but we're going to see which order they place the pieces in their inventory.
Any given week, this flags, they might take 50 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on what the randomizer throws at you. But this is a plotted out speed run. This is the runners going crazy with information. A week to plan it out, a week to route it, a week to come up with whatever madness is about to be unleashed upon us. And I did not time out this hype intro well enough. Almost. There we go.
Yeah, and we are off down here in the forest area. Couple of medium secrets in the area. The Armos item, which is our wand tonight, is just a few screens north. So looks like everybody's making a beeline for that.
See, and I tried not to look at the spoiler log tonight, and then you just gave it to me. We'll see what they actually do with this sucker. But there's the pickup. Now they've got repeatable offense. They've got white sword damage when they swing at stuff. It's going to kill a lot of things. And to be that close to start, obviously, it's going to pick up the pace of this seed a lot.
And it does look like people are gonna add one extra swing to that wand. Or maybe people are grabbing the candle, as our rare shop tonight is our candle shop.
I love that play to grab the candle, because if you know you have access to either the white sword or magic sword, then you're able to skip that pickup, you're able to skip the purchase, and you can get the hearts, which could put you closer or faster to the white sword item or magic sword. So I love the play when you know what's what.
Yeah, interesting to note, 2 players chose the candle, 2 players chose the wood sword, as John Tabin and King Doll first to enter a level, and that's going to be level number 3.
And that is one of the most fun things about this to me, is when they only have a week, these get optimized, but these don't become as optimized as a full-on speed run would be. There's still going to be strategies and divergences for what fit in people's comfort.
Yep, absolutely. You're going to see some players go for that magical sword. Other players are just going to walk right on by.
So we've got 2 runners who are in level 3, and we've got 2 runners that are looking for something else in very different parts of the world. But what John Tabin has picked up in this level 3 is the Silver Arrows King Doll, about to join him in that category.
And that really small looking dungeon. Given the spoiler log maps, it's a little difficult to garner exactly their shape. Hoping someone picks up the book tonight.
I mean, for just an atlas, I don't think they will.
Yes, especially given that the wand fire or the flame would still be produced at the end of the wand. I don't think we're going to see that one. But really quick Triforce for those 2 in level 3.
Mr. Cab opted for level 5 first. That has yielded the bow now picked up there. A lot of blue whiz robes to deal with, so you see why he would need sword to go this route, and also maybe why others chose a different path.
Speaking of different paths, we see Dr. J going for that white sword heart.
So Mr. Cab's taking on a Dark Nut room. This suggests to me this is probably an item drop because of Heart Shuffle.
Yep, certainly not going to be wasting.
Oh, that's a drop. The red ring for Mr. Cab, massive increase to the defense, and you really see why he made this play.
Yeah, the Triforce was just there, but 1 room to the north, and you get a nice piece of jewelry that quadruples your defense. Meanwhile,
John Taven
King
grabs
Doll.
the Triforce at a level 4. These things are going to come fast and furious in a week like this.
All right, we see King Doll here in level 2, another small dungeon.
The other really nice thing about this is, unlike most weeks, you're not worried about running out of keys. Because they planned ahead to make sure they have enough.
Yeah. That is definitely one strat that you're gonna be thinking really hard about. All right, which keys do I pick up? Which doors do I unlock? So Mr. Cab picks up the recorder here in that level 5. Or level 1, sorry, rather.
And Dr. J is going to pick up the letter, which automatically tells us he's getting medicine with that. Otherwise, you wouldn't, as John Taven's going to get the bow. The other interesting thing I think that tells us is that means as far as choose any's, he's going hearts. So he's making a play at something, and that may very well be the magic sword.
Well, now, because he didn't get the woods or the candle from the wood sword cave, he might opt to grab a candle from one of the take any's. The blue candle is in the rare shop at 77 rupees, so might not want to route that one in. But on the other hand, we saw King Doll already take a potion shop, took that blue candle. And Mr. Cab also, the one who took the wood sword, grabbing that blue candle from the take any.
You almost always need a candle. One of my favorite runs of these that I've seen as John Taven picks up the red ring, saw Router's Relish, where one of them just grabbed the blue candle from the wood sword cave at the start and then ran the whole thing swordless.
Yep, if you're confident in your ability, go for it.
And
it's not going to be me, though.
Dr. J grabs the bow. Of course, that also depends on what enemies you have to go through. Somebody who's swordless here has a harder time with the Dark Nuts, but King Doll still takes care of business, grabs the red ring there, and on to grab the Triforce out of 5.
I'm kind of ping-ponging between these early dungeons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all kind of down here on the southern part of Hyrule today.
By the way, we have a segmented level 2, as Mr. Cab had to go through a transport staircase to get up here.
Yep. If I recall correctly, both level 1 and 2 were segmented.
Bow for King Doll, Triforce out of 2 for Mr. Cab. Like I said, the action just comes fast and furious in these, but we still have 2 runners going out there without a sword right now. I love Router's Relish. It's so fun to watch. Here's King Doll into level 1. So with Heart Shuffle, you've got 3 potential items in one dungeon.
Yeah, not too shabby.
You always wonder why a runner makes decision A instead of decision B when they have the choice like this. King Doll's gonna grab the recorder as Taben's into 2, and Dr. J is just wrapping up level 5. So we're not seeing a lot of people on the overworld after the first couple of minutes. They are in these dungeons as much as they can get.
Yes, sir. The name of the game is hunt down the items that you need, the Tringle pieces to get into level 9, and then you just have to take out the pig and rescue the princess.
That's a long name. Does that fit on the box? Dr. J is working through 1 as Mr. Cab grabs the Triforce. At a level 3, we've seen the bow, we've seen the silvers. We know that you'll need a sword for Ganon, so 2 of our runners have that. And I'm really curious if the play here is they're getting White Sword along the way, or if they're going for Magic Sword later on. There's the book on the floor in 1. And King Doll is our first into level 4. As Mr. Cab's into 6.
Yep.
Ooh, nice job getting through the firing squad. Red Ring helped a lot there.
Another Triforce piece for King Doll.
That may not have been a good clock pickup for Mr. Cab, who's making it work anyways, but it froze all the Dark Nuts on the island where they were out of range of the wand, so Mr. Cab has to reload the room, but only 2 left.
And Dr. J also on the board, grabbing the Triforce out of level 1.
Okay, not Dr. J, John Tabin just picked the potion from a Choose Any while he's still swordless. So if there was any doubt as to his strat, I think that tells us he's going for the White Sword.
It might be a while before he picks that up, but Mr. Cab picking up that Triforce piece at a level 6. So all tied up on the top screen there.
A question in chat about the numbers. That is the levels that items were in. So that's what you're seeing at the trackers. The silver arrows, for example, in level 3. And hello, Patra.
Goodbye, Patra.
John Tabin is going to join King Doll in level 8.
Yeah, they have had really similar routes so far. But also to note for the tracker, I do believe King Doll has the Triforce piece at a level 1. So Mr. Cab is going into level number 4. So 3 of our runners working on their 6th Triforce piece.
Ooh, King Doll doing the Patra kill here in 8. With just the wand. Of course, you can hit it with the wand. You can also hit it with the sword. You can hit it with both at once to do damage faster, but that's not an option. What is also not an option is picking up the ladder. That's what King Doll is going to do here in 8. Very nice Patra kill to get it.
Yeah, also an option, you can make up a brand new dance and name it the Patra and post it up on TikTok.
I feel obligated to say no Jiggly. All right, Mr. Cab's in 3. 3, of course, home to the Silvers. Cab took care of some other business first.
Looks like Cab just in there for a key.
Okay.
Maybe he forgot to pick that up on his way there the first time. But John Tabin is grabbing that ladder here at a level 8. Going to be very important later on.
Yeah, ladder blocks are almost always a thing. And we haven't seen anybody make a move for the coast item yet.
Probably not going to happen this seed.
Well, they do already know what it is.
It's just a blue banana.
Well, I mean, they could get it just to trigger TTD. King
Yeah.
Doll's got the Triforce out of 8.
I feel comfortable spoiling that one for you.
Sure. Dr. J grabs the Triforce out of 2. We'd never see it otherwise. So a lot of these dungeons are just grabbing the required items. They're not necessarily building the heart count, except for Dr. J.
If you've been here on Speed Gaming, you've seen that before.
But they've all got the red rings, so they've effectively got 4 times as many hearts.
I think 2 runners I consistently see with near max HP, Chest Jerk and our good friend Dr. J here.
King Doll in this room with the Dark Nuts has the ladders, so that is not blocked from killing them all across the island. And that's probably an extra key versus what Mr. Cab was able to route in. Little things like that can make a difference, depending on how much you need it and how soon you need it.
Yeah, we are just 14 minutes in, though, and John Tabin, King Doll, they are at 6 Triforce pieces, along with Mr. Cab, all of them working on Triforce piece number 7.
Also, Dr. J working on grabbing these silver arrows out of level 3 as King Doll has Triforce out of 6. Mr. Cab in the ladder room doing battle with Patra has the sword to dual wield here.
So King Doll taking an early lead. A few screens away from level 7.
And Triforce out of 3 for Dr. J. Apparently, we don't have sped up text tonight. That was the long, hungry Gorilla message.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, King Doll showing it to us as well now. Airplane reference.
I suppose that would could make a difference in your route if you're going through. For example, we see Dr. J taking the Takeny Road. The more text that shows up on your game, the slower your seed.
That may be a factor in the whole recorder decision, because that lets you transport across the world. Maybe get you in an area you want to be. Question in chat, does Mr. Cap have the silvers? I haven't seen him menu to them, but I'm virtually positive he does.
Yeah, you don't pop into the dungeon with the silver arrows.
Yeah, there they are.
Leave them behind.
I just realized sometimes there's input lag on the tracker, and it eats the button impress just because the internet is the internet. And hey, 99% of the time it works so good, it makes us really triggered that other 1%. Oh, we do have the magic key for Mr. Cap as well. I did not catch that one earlier, but all the keys, you don't have to worry about grabbing them.
Yeah, John and King Doll, on the other hand, that did skip that any key. So they've counted their doors wisely.
Well, they've counted their doors. Let's not judge the wisely just yet. And there's Triforce out of 7 for King Doll. So that is the full Triforce assembled, and we are heading to level 9 at just 17 minutes in.
But this is a close race. John Tabin also grabbing that. Does have to peek into level 6. But that is not too far, right, from level 9? Or was 6?
And they all... Still 2 of our runners need a sword, which makes me guess, just guessing here, that we've got a white sword in level 9. White sword in level 9.
Brilliant deduction.
And apparently on the way to Ganon enough that they felt it was the better strat. Yeah, this is one that was just set up to blaze a trail through the seed, because early wand, and nothing that really required the sword was in your way before 9.
Yes, sir. That definitely made a big difference. Also, that red ring, just 1 extra room from Triforce in level 5. But now in level 9, King Doll knows where the door is, knows where the pig is, just has to get there. But first he needs a little stabby stab.
Question in chat, no required whiz ropes? None yet. We've had them in the way, but we've not... Well, actually this room was required, but they were able to do it with bombs. That John Taven is in. That may have been one of only 2 required whiz rope rooms. I guess the cane is the white sword, or hockey stick? Is that a hockey stick?
Possibly. I wonder if maybe King Doll is one of our neighbors to the north.
Could be. Here's Ganon. Wow, 2 rooms away from Ganon is the white sword.
Yes, sir.
Don't you love Router's Relish, folks?
Got
So it won't take as many hits
off.
to kill Ganon as it does the wood sword.
5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. We've got bacon. Who's hungry?
Well, it wasn't until now. Alright, how far away is the trek to Zelda?
And there is the Triforce piece number 8 from Mr. Cab. I'll be joining everybody in the level 9 shortly.
Transport a few locked doors. How much more is there to this 9? Not that much, but there's an old man in the way. Feel free to drop a bomb in his face. He deserves it for being that slow. But here we go. Fire can't
Go
stop
around the
us.
sea.
No swag block clip. King Doll is your first place finisher with a time of 20 minutes, 24 seconds. GG.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're joining us a little late, you're joining us a little too late.
That's Router's Relish for you. Oh, by the way, not far behind, just about a minute, is Homer J. Smash finishing in second place with a 21-21. So I talked about one time I saw somebody run swordless. That's now 2 for 2. I've seen swordless win the day on a Router's Relish.
Right,
Or at least that I've called.
And I remember a couple versions ago when Swordless actually placed a sword for you inside level 9, because Fred hadn't quite fandangled a way to get the wand to hit Ganon. It's definitely a
Of course,
throwback.
if you want to see a bunch of that, go back and look at the videos from All Boards, No Swords.
Yeah, that was it.
And round 2 with Ganon. And round 3 with Ganon between Mr. Cab and John Taven in sync, but from different directions.
Mr. Cab and John are neck and neck. Let's see who gets... Yeah. Oh, Cab dropped the stun lock.
And Dr. J gets the Triforce out of 7. So what you're looking for in an ideal stun lock is what you're seeing now with Cab, where Ganon does not move. If he changes pose, you are a little off on your stun lock. And that's where you see Ganon get away. But Ganon has a few of these poses, and if you ever see him change pose, you were a little slow on the hit. John Taven has Ganon down first. Had that potion for the safety, made good use of it with only the 4 hearts. And Mr. Cab's going to get a victory as well.
I unfortunately just dropped that early stun lock and had trouble getting it back, but they're going to be finishing up in just a few more rooms.
And Dr. J has grabbed the magic sword.
Yeah, we saw it coming. Picking those heart containers out of those Take Any roads. So not too surprising. It'll save him an extra stop here in level 9 to grab that white sword. Oh, speaking of white sword, I didn't even notice Mr. Cab skipped the white sword. That's why it took him a little longer. And
John Taven is going to wrap this up. Let's run through this. Bogey finished in 3rd place with a 22-21. Jay Coper was 4th with a 22-54. Fryteeth was tied in 4th place with a 22.54. So how about that? Then John Taven came in 6th, 23.11. And they are fast and furious right now. Mr. Dunlow, Mr. Cab was 7th. And there we go. That's caught up to now. Speaking of caught up to now, John Taven and Mr. Cabin join us. GG to you both.
Thank you.
So contradiction in styles there. One went with wood sword, one went with white sword.
The original route when I was practicing this whole thing was actually Mags. And then I was 5 minutes faster with it this afternoon with wood.
Yeah.
This was pretty significant.
Yeah, yeah, we were actually Cab and I think we're both watching Fred go through this scene. I think he was the first to mention that it's a 10-heart magical sword. I was wondering if you were actually going to do that, but no, I just figured the white sword wasn't that far out of the way. So, and there were so many red bubbles that getting through most of the scene with the wand was fun. So I decided to do it that way.
When I was first routing this whole thing, I noticed that the wand and the wood sword cave were right next to each other. And I was like, see how this goes if I just get the wand and do most of this seed swordless and see what happens. It was a 10-heart mags from there. I mean, your magical sword route says the white sword item is a heart. There's 2 hearts and 6. There's a few take any's around. Get the magical sword and cut through the rest of the game. And you don't really need a sword for very much at all.
Yeah,
But,
I didn't swing my sword until the Ganon fight, so
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did have to get a potion because I couldn't see a faster way through 9 that didn't go through that spiral with the red bubbles. Maybe there was one that I didn't find, but
my route through 9, because I mean I wasn't finding the white sword. There's a passageway that goes to the room before Ganon, and it's right next to a room full of blue bubbles.
Oh yeah, that's true. But my route to the white sword was I went through that passageway, down, left, up, and up to get the white sword, and then circle back to Ganon. So, and there was a bunch of red bubbles in a spiral along that path. So, and also my Ganon fight was terrible, so it was a good thing I had the potion anyway because I ended up using it twice. But,
yeah. I had 2 real problems with this seed, right? At least in this specific run of it. I had a recorder adventure at one point because I got iframed out of the tornado.
Yeah, same thing happened to me.
I completely blanked on how many keys I needed going into 8. The answer was 0, and I thought I needed 1, so I went back to 3 to grab a key.
Oh, yeah. No, keys seem pretty free in this. I know. I think someone mentioned the any key wasn't that far out of the way, but I noticed like every time there was a big level with a lot of key doors, it also threw a lot of keys at you. So I never had a problem with that.
The key is 1 room north of the ladder, and I actually was still grabbing it because it was like, well, I'm basically running on 0 keys this whole time, and I'm going to run into the spot where I need to get 2. Yeah. And the easiest key to get is actually the any key. At that point, I don't need anything else. Granted, I think I really did only use it on like 2 or 3 locked doors.
Yeah, there were keys all over the place. I never went to an extra room to get a key. I don't think I even killed anything that I wouldn't have killed if I didn't need a key, so it was fine. Yeah, but
here we have Dr. J going against Ganon, this with the magic sword, and not going to take as many hits, and Ganon goes down once again.
I'm glad someone got magical sword on the restream.
So we got a swordless, a wood sword, and a magical sword.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, we ran the gamut.
It was actually really interesting. Because you guys, you were talking about all the different strategies you took. White sword versus wood sword. John, you picked up the candle from the wood sword cave. You guys were actually like seconds away from in the Ganon fight. So it was really close there at the end, at least between you two.
I imagine I probably walked into the Ganon fight first, but then if his Ganon didn't like go to different corners 5 different times, it was probably a better fight. So.
I'm so mad at the recorder right now. That's really the story of my seed, because I tried to go back to 3 or something, and then I ended up at 4, and then I was at 6, and I just kept getting knocked out of the tornado.
Yeah, I actually cleared part of the screen outside too because my route was to whistle to 4 to do 8 right after 2, and I got hit by an Octorox. I just went to the next screen and had to. I tried to do +1 -1, and I only got like 1 2 off, so I whistled to 5 and then to 4 instead of whistling directly to 4.
It was my recorder from 8 to 3 to go to 7 that got screwed up, and then I had to go back to 3 to go to. Well, I had to go back to 3 to go to 4 because I didn't get a bomb drop the first pass, so I had to just go back to it at some point.
And a
only
GG
good thing
Dr.
about-
J, who finished with a 28-11 and now joins us. And I want to ask you an unusual question, Dr. J. Does the slow text, did that cause you to route out any specific rooms along the way, or were you going the same route anyways?
I mean, I was pretty much going the same route anyways. It was more just cutting down on having to pick up keys before going into 8. And just establishing shortcuts, like when I cleared 3 when I did, so I could record it back to it.
The only old man text I saw was the required. You had to go through the bomb upgrade in room in 8. You had to go through the bait block in 7, and I already mentioned I had to get a potion because of the red bubbles on my way to Ganon. But I guess you got magical sword, so you probably went to a lot more rooms.
I mean, seeing that Mags was 10 makes it a lot more useful there.
Yeah, we were saying. Yeah, Cab got wood sword, you got magical sword, and I got white sword in 9. So we all did different things, which is nice.
I was getting magical sword all week until today, and then I just did it faster with wood sword and stuck with it.
Yeah, at that point, it wasn't that far out of my way. Just record it back to 1 to Mags, and then record it back to 3 to go where I was going with that.
Exactly. Like I think the Mags first route is at least a very fun route because it just kind of proves this seed is a pretty good swordless seed.
I hadn't even considered that. I mean, but before my practice run last night, I was like in 1. I wasn't going through the old man. I was going down because I had extra keys then.
I had another. The only other thing that makes me mad about this seed, and I'm guessing all of us decided not to do this, but I think my early routes of this was 3, 6, 4, 8, and so when going into 8 without a red ring, getting that extra bomb pack was annoying. So what I started doing was getting the large secret, which was 125, which you might have noticed is also the price of the bomb upgrade for 2 bombs, but it's a refill.
Yeah, I had just taken out the bomb upgrades from my other route too, because it's just like, oh, well, in case I need those for 8. Oh, wait, no, I don't. So,
yeah, I every time I route one, I usually play with select swap off, and every time I do one of these routed seeds, I think, well, if I'm going to route it, I probably can just use select swap, and then I always find a reason to leave it off. And in this case, it was for pause buffering through that diagonal room of blue Wizrobes on the way to the red ring. I don't know what you guys did about that. You just damage boosted.
Yeah, I just took a bit of a half step to the left, hesitated a bit, and then I could run up.
The blue Wizrobe room.
Mm.
If you just walk into the room and wait 2 seconds, at least every time I walked into it, I know spawn patterns or things, and I don't completely understand what triggers them in certain ways. But if you just wait a second and a half for the one to walk right past the door and then run for it and scream at the top of your lungs, you'll usually make it.
Screaming at the top.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about the select pause is you can get through the whole room and they know and prevent them from ever firing the firing beams, so it was pretty safe. But I'm sure there was another way through it, and I don't think I lost too. If I'd been running this seed for a month, I would probably optimize the menus better, even if I didn't turn on select swap. But
I mean, I feel like the real record for this seed is to somehow get into 6 first, but you're relying on that blue Moblin to give you a bomb drop.
Yeah, that's what Jay Coper was doing in his practice run, and he said in the IRC he did that in his run. The problem with that is you have to go a couple extra rooms to get a key, and you don't get the key. You don't get the key from the Darknut room if you don't have the ladder. And
you just go 2 rooms south, you get the key,
right,
and you go back up. Then you have to wand and do the Darknut room that way. It's not bad because the biggest problem with this seed actually is level 6 is kind of off on its own. there's
But,
no good time to go get it except when you're up there the first time to get the wand anyway.
Yeah, but and I just did it last because if you have the wand and if you have the ladder and the red ring there, it's pretty free. So
Ladder, red ring, and also mags too. I think that kind of sped things up because I was doing 6 earlier in my practice runs.
yeah. But I do love this format, and I'm glad we get to do it every once in a while. So thanks to Speed Gaming for the restream, and thanks to you guys for doing the commentary. I know it's kind of, I know these routed races go so fast. It could be tough to keep up with them. So thanks for jumping in on comms.
It's always fun to see what different approaches people will take to the same thing, because you get to see a pretty optimized run from everybody. But at the same time, in only a week, you don't see something so perfectly optimized that everybody does exactly the same thing.
Right. I mean, even the vanilla game, everyone doesn't do the same thing at the top levels. Like the top 2 times are 2 different routes. So that's the neat thing about Zelda 1 is that there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Especially when I'm playing it too.
I mean, one thing I'd like to see is maybe a couple weeks time we run this exact same seed, see what you guys can do.
I think I'm done with this one. But it's a nice idea.
The only thing for me to do would be to actually find where the white sword is, because I still have never seen it. I feel like if you get the stun lock and everything else,
it's
you can
2
probably
rooms.
get it.
It's left and up from Ganon, but like I said, I had to loop down and around to get to it. To get to it without going through Ganon, you had to go a couple rooms out of the way. But
it's one of those things where if you can get the stun lock on Ganon, it's probably as fast to get the white sword as it would have been to just like walk in with a wood sword.
Yeah, I had much better Ganon fights in some of my practice runs than I did on stream tonight.
Although I guess it really boils down to then you're comparing getting a different candle than the wood sword cave to walking over there.
Yeah,
that's really that's the only time difference.
Yeah, where did you guys get your candle if you took the wood sword?
The take any that's in the money making game next to Vanilla Start.
Okay,
yeah. I bought mine.
That candle I think is at Monocle Rock is the only shop that's selling a blue candle, and it's like 77.
It is, yeah, and that's why I went to get the big secret. That's the only secret I bothered getting.
Of course, the red candle is candle blocked in level 3, and even if you get the one in the book, the level 3 screen has pea hats on it, so good luck getting that fire off.
Yeah.
The other place that I was getting a recorder literally until an hour before this race, or a candle I should say, was Recorder Lake. After 1, just go over there, but I think it's slightly fewer screens, especially if you're not good at screen wrapping left to right to get to level 2 from the basically from Vanilla Start than from Vanilla the Recorder Lake.
Okay, I have one more random question. When you're first routing this, do you grab the book for the Atlas?
Nope.
This seed came with the spoiler log that was part of the flag set. And part of the spoiler log is the map, so already had it.
Yeah, there's no reason for it.
All right, fair enough.
Someone I was watching actually did that, and I was questioning it. But I think it was Fred, and he was like intentionally running the seed without the spoiler logs, which was fair enough.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have it as a reference verse, especially because it's convenient. But it's like,
if your route is doing wand combat for 90% of the run, it's pretty inconvenient. So,
yeah, basically,
yeah. And I think I looked at swordless from the beginning. Like, I don't think my route changed a lot as I looked at it. Like, I think I noticed the ladder block in 7, so I was like, okay, I can't do that before 8. But other than that, I think my overworld was basically the same. Like you had to do 8s before 7, so you were forced to go west to east to west somehow. So
well, if we don't put a bow on this, we're going to be talking about it longer than it took to play it. So let's start with Dr. J. Any final thoughts on this one? Okay, Taven, how about you? Any final thoughts?
Which I already said. Thanks for doing it. I really do enjoy this format. It's like sort of the best of both worlds of like running vanilla and running randomizer to like route a brand new seed and from the ground up and then optimize it. So I really do like it a lot, and I always look forward to these.
And Mr. Cab?
I'm really mad at my recorder right now because I got, like I said, a 21-20 in the practice run that was without getting the bomb luck for level 4. So I feel like it's one of those things. The more you have a time to do this, you start looking at these and saying, "Yeah, I could sub 20 this." I really think it's sub 20, but at the same time, there's more randomizer seeds to play. So next time, let's do this again.
There's always a next time. Dr. J, you with us for any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I still thought I would have been a lot closer to the top, but such is my route.
Hey, well, it made for an entertaining show on stream. There's always that. August, anything you want to say?
Just stay tuned on Speed Gaming and their sister networks for whatever floats your boat. Tons of great content.
And these are some great runners. If you're enjoying Zelda 1 Randomizer, throw some follows out there. And of course, always I say, show the love to the tracker. Cheerios, Kairos, I'm not sure how he says that, but trackers make the world go round. Share the love there too. Thanks, everybody. Hope you had some fun this evening, and have a great one, everybody.